Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Lady Nyca, and with a update to Miss Wendy Williams. Before I begin the article that I found as I was perusing over on the internet streets, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who stand by me, be in these YouTube streets, windmilling when necessary. Everybody that supports me in this channel, I truly appreciate that. I heard the message, I read the messages, some of you asking where I was. I have a lot of new subscribers, and you got to really just kind of go back and watch some of my old videos to fully understand when I say that I have my date with Ben. Now, just a quick little rundown of what that is. As many of you know, I do have lupus, and every 6 to 8 weeks I go in for a treatment, and I call it my date with Ben because the medication that they put into my body to help me suppress the symptoms of lupus is called Benlysta, hence the term my date with Ben. And when I first started on Benlysta a few years back, I used to, of course, the day of the procedure, you feel kind of fatigued. Well, you don't feel kind of, honey. You be totally fatigued. It's like just to walk two steps ahead of ahead from where you're standing is too much for you sometimes. So I would always experience that. And then afterwards, I would go through my sleepiness, and then I'll be back to a full strength, and it's like it energizes me. It's like my to-go pill. So as I'm aging, I'm noticing that I don't recover as quickly as I used to. Whereas it would be the day of the procedure, rest that day, the next day I can get up and start moving around about midday the next day. Now it takes me a couple of days to totally get my energy back and to feel normal again. So that's where I was. Now I was down on the YT streets. I was perusing through the YT streets, and some of you may have seen me in various chats of those who I support and those who support me. But all in all, I'm fine. Sometimes you have to take a break from this. I'm going to always take a break from this when it's concerning my health and well-being, because that comes before anything. I can't give you nothing if I'm dead, okay? So that's what I was doing. I was taking a break, and I was also allowing the Benlysta to, do what it does inside of my body so that I could feel like a human being and want to get up and, live my life. So that's where I was, child. But thank you all for being concerned about me. We will be having a Fuck Shit Friday this week. I see some people have been over on the Instagram DMing me stories. If you have anything you want to hear my take on, please, as we go throughout the week, feel free to drop that down in my, you can drop it in my IG, because my IG is now public again. I opened it back up. I don't do anything on social media, so ain't no sense in me being, having my Instagram private. Now, if I feel like you are bothered to me over there on my social media sites, I'll just get rid of you then, but it's open. And if you have anything you want me to talk about as we go throughout the week leading up to Thursday, go ahead and drop it to me, honey. You can email me, leave it in the comment section, however it is you choose to do. But we will be back on track this week with what I do over here. Right now, I had that many reviews to do because y'all know I pretty much, for the most part, I don't really fool with reality TV anymore. That's why I'm not doing Love and Hip Hop or none of that stuff, but I still keep my scripted shows, and I will be doing the 90-Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. I'll be doing that. But for the most part, unless it's a reality show that comes that I truly like, I won't be doing that anymore. I'm going to gear toward more celebrity gossip and just talking my talk times with you guys. Story times here and there, but most of my story times will be over on my Patreon, and you can more than welcome to join me over there on Patreon. Right now, my Patreon entrance fee is $1. It will change very soon. So if you want to become a Patreon love thing, feel free to do so. And those of you who are at the $1 mark, I will not lift it up. I will not raise it up on you. If you want to up your pledge every month, feel free to do so. But if you came in at $1, I'm going to leave you like that until you feel that you want to do more, or, if you just feel like you want to do more, period. What else before we get into the topic at hand? I think I pretty much said everything I had to say. I wish that it was more peace on the YT streets. Now, I know we all like the mess. I am no different than you. But sometimes it get a little malicious on these streets, and I don't like that too much. I really don't. But I'm glad that what's been hot on these streets have kind of calmed down. There was a there between VS and TS Madison. And she did a video last night stating that, and I'm all right with how things turned out. As long as she happy about how things went, then I'm cool with it too, I'm just glad that it happened, because it really was, it was going in a direction that it didn't need to go in, and I'm not going to blame VS so much for that. I'm just going to say things were going wrong. I hope that this promoter, Miss Parker, gets her shit together and, learn how to do better business practices. I feel that way about it. She full of shit, if you ask me. But at any rate, I'm happy that the TS and VS was able to have the conversation and air out whatever differences they had, apologize to each other, and move on. And that's how I'm going to do with any situations I get into. Now, let's address rumors. Y'all, I don't care about what people say about me on the YT streets. If you've been with me at any period of time, you know one thing I do is I rise above. When they go low, I go high. I don't worry about all of that. If you allow what's being said about you on these YT streets to define who you are, then, child, you need to do some re-evaluations, because the words of cyber people shouldn't destroy you. There are going to be people who are not going to like me, just like it's people I don't too much care for. Am I going to dig into their lives and harass them and act like, something is crazy inside of me? Nah. I know how to, when I see that we can't come together and there is no there between us, then I know how to leave you over in that corner and let you do whatever it is that you choose to do, because I'm grown. At this age, we look like fools down here windmilling on each other with words. I ain't got time for that. I got a real life, like I told y'all in my last live video. I know how to break up and walk away and never speak your name. Now, if a person feels like they need to continue to talk about me, let them do that. You have to leave people where they at sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And that's no shade. It's just that I'm not that girl. It ain't got nothing to do with me being afraid, because as I stated, I'm a grown-ass woman. I have nothing to be afraid of anyone on these streets. It ain't nobody living and breathing the same air I have that I'm really afraid of. But I just don't go back and forth with people, because, see, I care about my health. And mentally, I'm together. I go see a therapist quite often to make sure that I continue to be together. So arguing with a person is something that I simply won't do. And I'm not fazed by what people say, because if I was, child, do you know that I would be half crazy? As long as I got a roof over my head and the 3 L's are being provided for me and I provide for myself, I really don't care what somebody has to say about me. That's just who I am, y'all. I'm serious. I don't windmill with no... And you can't reason with crazy no matter what you do. But that's all I want to say is my introduction. Now let's get into the topic at hand, which is Miss Wendy Williams. I was so happy to hear that Wendy has finally decided to let go of that man. Oh, that man. Child, we've all been there, so I'm not judging Wendy. All I'm saying is I'm glad that she's starting to realize that she still got a life. And a lot of times we lose ourselves in these men, especially if we stay with them any particular amount of time. I've said oftentimes on this channel, a woman cannot take the best years of a man's life, but a man definitely can take the best years of yours if you allow it. And I'm glad that by this article and what I saw today on her show, the few minutes I was able to see, that she's addressing stuff. So I was over on tofab.com, and as always, you guys know I will link this article in the pinned comments below for you can go over and read it for yourself, but we're going to read a little bit of it together, okay? The article reads, Wendy Williams says she's on the loose after filing for divorce from Kevin Hunter. Now, I don't know if the man named Kelvin or Kevin. Some bloggers say his name is Kevin, and they've done the research, I guess, to make sure, but we call him Kevin, so that's what I'm going to do in this article. Wendy Williams may not have directly spoken out about her filing for divorce from Kevin Hunter on her show Monday morning, but she made it very clear she is single, ready to mingle, and focusing on both her sobriety and her son. Returning to her morning show for the first time since news of the split broke last Thursday, Williams was met with a thunderous applause from her studio audience as she asked, "How you doing?" Then she repeated the show's motto, "Their business is our business," adding, "It's funny because now my business is your business. Turnabout is fair play. I get it." Diving into hot topics, she talked about how she spent the weekend with her sober sisters. "I had a really good weekend. I got together with my girls. I told you I have my sober friends. I have 6 of them that are really good, and 2 of them are my sponsors," she explained. They came over to the sober house this weekend, and they like wrapped sandwiches, and but I'm saying I had leftovers from Tao, just saying. Williams said she spent time with her sister who came up from Miami to support. "She's talking and powwowing with me. It's always nice to spend time with your sister," she said. They correct some of the things you do wrong. They help you when you're not doing enough, and they tell you how to do it. Then Wendy revealed that she'd be moving out of the sober house in a few days. It'll be Wendy on her own," she said. I have to tell you, I've been dealing with issues with addiction, alcoholism, and I have planned a whole new life for myself and my son." Notice she didn't mention her ex. She then said being in a sober house has really helped her put things into perspective for herself. "Believe you me, when you lay in a room with no TV, 4 gray walls all day, and no telephone, you lay there and you think about your life. This is my life at the sober house. It's one of the best things, honestly, that could have happened to me," she said. Because when you think about your life, you think about how you've been delivering to the world, especially here on the show, she added, before thanking her viewers for watching every day. "Addressing my sobriety, my addiction head on has really helped me sort out every single compartment of my life." Wendy continued to sip her tea. "I have a commitment to me and my son to come out of here better, stronger, and faster than ever." Later in the show, Williams threw a subtle shade at Kevin and his alleged mistress, Sharina Hudson, having a baby. While talking about the Real Housewives of Orange County with Vicky Gunvalson, I don't know who she is because I don't watch Orange County, but she said the reality star isn't having any more kids and is dried up in a good way. "I meant that in the best way," she continued. "Women who have crossed through menopause, the one thing that we never have to worry about again is that. Because I don't know about you, but my diaper changing days are over." Then she sipped tea and added, "Moving on." She also let her studio know that she's on a prowl again when talking about a video of Cardi B on the red carpet with a good-looking security guard in the background. "I was distracted by the chocolate gumdrop over Cardi's shoulder. Back it up now, I'm on the loose," she joked. "I would be calling in the middle of the night because her son Kevin is away at school. He would be like, 'Hello, security, Wendy, Security Bureau, wake up that cutie and send him over here. I just heard a bump in the night.'" Williams and Hunter tied the knot back in November of 97, and they share one son, Kevin Jr., 19. I'm going to link that down in the comment section. Y'all can go watch this. Read this for yourself. But what I have to say about this is, kudos to you, Wendy. Sometimes we lose ourselves in these men. We certainly do. I am no different than her. I was Wendy once upon a time. Maybe not on the level that Wendy's on, but I definitely was on the same level as Wendy when it comes to matters of the heart with someone that you really love and probably respected up until they took a turn for the dark side and you realize that we are no longer equally yoked and I need to move on. The man has done enough. He has carried on this affair for 10 years, according to page 6, the Daily Mail, whatever it was. But he's carried on this affair recklessly, if you ask me. And I'm happy. I'm truly happy that Wendy has found her there, and she is moving on with her life. There is no need that she should have to be living through this humiliation and embarrassment with this man. It's one thing to cheat on me, but the tables definitely turn when you bring in another child into the fold. And I think Wendy reached her point. That was the point where she had to really just face it. Am I going to continue to let him continue to run amok with the finances and slinging that thing everywhere? And child, I did hear about the Tasha K interview with this Avion person. I will go over. Y'all know I don't really too much do Miss Tasha K, but I'm going to watch that to see what it is, that really went on. I only seen like bits and pieces of it, enough to know that the interview is all over the place. So I'm going to go over and watch that interview and we'll talk about it again. We'll revisit this subject again over on Fuck Shit Friday, but kudos to Wendy. And maybe out of all of this, she got a lesson out of this, because this was indeed part of her karma. See, you cannot destroy other people's lives and be reckless in your words when it's concerning other people's situations that are real life situations for them, and not expect that karma to one day come sit right there on your door. I'm glad that she's taking a stand and she's ready to move on with her life. I pray to God that she is truly meaning what she's saying and that she's planning a life for her and her son, because really at this point, that's all it's about. Now, you still got a little responsibility to Kevin Jr. because he's in college and you probably paying for that. But for the most part, start focusing on you. Women, we lose ourselves in our children, our families, our husbands. I don't care how great of a mom you are. I don't care how great of a wife you are. I don't care how great of a friend you are to those who you care and love about. At the end of the day, everybody got to take a moment for self. And I learned that late in life, but I learned it and I learned it well. I take time out for me now. When I need a break, I break. And even if it makes the eggs a little upset, because I was a human being before I was your mama. I was a human being before I was your friend. I was a human being before I was a wife or girlfriend. I was a human before I was any of that. And the nature, let me clarify something else. In the book of my mind, when I'm saying self-preservation comes first, that's in the Bible, that's the book of my Bible, okay? The law of nature says self-preservation comes first. But I'm fully aware of what I'm saying when I say the Bible says for self-preservation comes first. Because that's the book of my mind. That's the book of what I live my life according to. So when I say the Bible, I'm not talking about the Holy Bible. I'm talking about the Bible, the Holy Bible of Nyca. The Bible of Nyca. The book of my mind. That's what I mean by that. Someone decided they were going to correct me in the comments, and I just wanted to correct you, because when I speak, I think before I speak. Now, the word does say that you should be slow to speak and quick to think, and that's what I do. Okay? But I'm glad Wendy's looking out for herself. I hope that things get much better for her. I hope she's able to stay sober. That's the most important thing. Because at her age, she don't need to be spiraling out of control because of all the pressures of what this man has done. If anything offends me, guess what I do? I cut it off. And that goes for people too. That's why some folks be so angry with me, because I can be all up in your grill, and the next day, if my spirit says that I need to move away from that, I am quick to listen to that, because my spirit and my intuition has never led me wrong. As I age, my discernment gets better, and I think Wendy's discernment, being that she is a little bit older than me, has kicked in, and I say kudos to her. And I wish her nothing but the best going forward. I will link this article down in the description box for you. Well, not in the description box. It's going to be in the pinned comments for you to go over and check it out. And please let me know what you think about this new turn in Wendy's life. I like the fact that she's not hiding it. Now, she's not sitting there putting all her tea on Front Street, but she knows that she's a part of the content now. Charlie, you know you're doing something good when you become content, okay? Trust me, when you become someone's content, it's something you're doing right. And in her case, becoming content may be what it took for her to realize, well, to find herself is what I'm going to say. You got people in this world that's going to say a lot of negative things, but you got some good-hearted people that speak from their heart. In every one of my videos that I have discussed Wendy, I have spoken to her beyond her reputation, beyond how she's acted in the past and how she was so careless with her words. Because I don't care how strong you are, words do hurt, and they penetrate the soul if it's your truth. Okay? It really do. And I tell you that because I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know. And when you see something fucked up in you, or you realize that person's been telling you that something's fucked up in you, and you really look at that, then you begin to want to make a change if you're a decent person. And I think that's where she is right now. And I wish her nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. I want to see her continue to sit in her purple chair a couple of more years. And I would love to see a happier, healthier Wendy sitting there. That's it. That's all, y'all. Remember, as always, when I end the videos, I tell you, the depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. In the meantime, in between time, please remember to rate the video. Ratings get me recognized on these YT streets. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this Wendy situation. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already for the free $99. Hit your notification bell button, even though they don't seem to be working these days on the YT. But we got hope and prayers up that they will fix that situation. So hit your notification bell button so that each and every time I drop a pre-recorded video or happen to go live from this channel, you will be notified. Also, check the description box below for more information on how to contact me. My second channel, The Evolution of Nyca, where I talk all things autoimmune diseases. And also, for $1, you can become one of my Patreon love things. And we got a call-in coming this weekend. I'm going to set that up and get back to each and every one of my little Patreons, letting them know when they can, we're going to sit down and have us a good old powwow. I thank the people who showed up at the last conference chat. I had a wonderful time with you ladies. I got me a big sis out of that thing and everything else. So all's well over here in Lady Nyca land. Despite what you may hear, despite what people may feel, all is well with your girl, Lady Nyca. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.